Okay, so this is the continuation for all the laws that we're going over. So bear with me, because there's a lot, but it's not a bad thing. So Law 131, a declaration made when separating the various tithes. Law 132 is a declaration made bringing first fruits to the temple. Law 133 is on the first portion of kala given to the priest. Law 134 is on ownerless produce of the sabbatical year. Law 135 is on resting the land on the sabbatical year. Law 136 is on sanctifying the Jubilee year. Law 137 is on blow shofar on Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement, and the Jubilee and slaves freed. So Law 138 is on reversion of the land to ancestral owners in Jubilee year. Law 139 is on the redemption of a house within a year of the sale. Law 140 is on counting and announcing the years till the Jubilee year. Law 130:41 is all debts are annulled in the sabbatical year. Law 142 is one may exact a debt owed by a foreigner. Law 143 is the priests due in the slaughter of every clean animal. Law 134 is on the first of the fleece to be given to the priest. Law 145 is on one devoted thing to God other than priest. So that one says, but the field, when it goeth out in the Jubilee, shall be holy unto the Lord, as a field devoted. The possession thereof shall be the priest. And that is Leviticus 27:21. Okay, so Law 146 is slaughtering animals according to the Torah before eating. Law 147 is on covering with earth the blood of slain fowl and beast. So basically, making sure that you are slaughtering animals in the correct way. Law 148 is on setting free the parent bird when taking the nest. Law 149 is on searching for prescribed signs in beast for eating. Law 150 is on searching for the prescribed signs in birds for eating. Law 151 is on searching for prescribed signs in locusts for eating. Yet these may ye eat of every flying, creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs above their feet, to leap within upon the earth. So that is Leviticus 11:21. Law 152 is searching for the prescribed signs in fish for eating. Law 153 is on Sanhedrin to sanctify new moon and reckon years of seasoning. Law 154 is on resting on the Shabbat. Law 155 is on declaring Shabbat holy as its onset and termination. Law 156 is on removal of leaven on Nisan 14th, Passover. Law 147 is on telling of Exodus from Egypt, first night, Passover. So God wants us to remember the Passover, remember how he freed the Jews from bondage. I think at that time they weren't Jews, but yeah. Law 158 is on eating matzah, the first night of Passover. Law 149 is on resting on the first day of Passover. Law 160 is on resting on the seventh day of Passover. Law 161 is on count the Omer, counting 49 days from day of first sheaf. Law 162 is on resting on Pentecost. Law 163 is on resting on Rosh Hashanah, head of year. Law 164 is on fasting on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. Law 165 is on resting on Yom Kippur. Law 166 is on resting on the day of Sukkot. Law 167 is on resting on the 8th day, Shemini Atzeret. Law 178 is on dwelling in Sukkot booths for 7 days. Law 169 is on taking a lulav on Sakath. Law 170 is on hearing the sound of shofar on Rosh Hashanah, head of year. Community. So these are laws about the community. Law 171 is on every male giving a half a shekel annually to the temple. Law 172 is on heeding the prophets. Law 173 is on appointing a king. So heeding the prophets, that's something that Peter said. He said that the prophets are a light shining in a dark place. So it's good to look into like the prophets in the Bible, like Amos, Haggai, Joel, and Zechariah, Micah, like those things like that. Okay. Law 174 is on obeying the great court, the Sanhedrin. Law 175 is on, in a case of division, abiding by a majority decision. Law 176 is on appointing judges and officers of the court in every town. Law 177 is on treating litigants equally, impartially before the law. Let's see, we're at 6 minutes and 15 seconds. Law 178 is on anyone aware of evidence must come to court to testify. Law 179 is on the testimony of witnesses shall be examined thoroughly. So that's like, hey, if you saw somebody like back in Moses' time, if Moses committed like murder or like he killed somebody and you saw it, you're supposed to be like, you're supposed to come to court and testify about that. God bless Moses. Law 180 is false witness punish as they intend upon accused. Law 181 is on Igla Arufa, on the heifer when murdered unknown. Law 182 is on establishing 6 cities of refuge. Law 183 is give cities to Levites who've no ancestral land they share. Law 184 is on build a fence or roof, remove potential hazards for the home. So you're not supposed to let your home be hazardous. If you know of something that could possibly harm someone, if they come over to your house, you're supposed to make it safe for them. Law 185 is on detesting all idolatry and its appurtenances. So no idols, nothing is supposed to take the place of God, the creator of heaven and earth. Alright, law number 186 is the law about a city that has become perverted. And thou shalt gather all the spoil of it into the midst of the street thereof, and shalt burn it with fire. Burn with fire the city, and all the spoil thereof every whit. For the Lord thy God, and it shall be a heap forever, and it shall not be built again. Deuteronomy 13:16. So basically, kind of like Sodom and Gomorrah, you're not supposed to rebuild that city. I don't even think it's rebuilt. If you look at Sergio and Rhoda in Israel, I think they go to that city in one of their episodes, and it's not rebuilt. In Israel, the city of Sodom and Gomorrah is not rebuilt. So, Law 187 is on the law about destroying the 7 Canaanite nations. Law 188 is on extension of the seed of Amalek. Law 189 is on remember the evil deeds of Amalek to Israel. So remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way, when you were come forth out of Egypt. So, God's like, hey, they're not going to get away in my interpretation. God remembers what they did. Okay, these are laws on war. Law 190, regulations for wars other than ones commanded in the Torah. Law 191 is Kohen for special duties in war. Law 192 is prepare place beyond the camp, so to keep the sanctuary, and for the Lord thy God walketh in the midst of thy camp, to deliver thee, to give up thy enemies before thee. Therefore shall thy camp be holy, that he see no unclean thing in thee, and turn away from thee. So that's a good place to stop. God, he walks before us. he doesn't want to see anything unclean, and so so he walks before us, but this law is saying that he'll turn away from us if he sees anything unclean, and I stopped on law 192. So I'll try to continue these laws. This is we stopped on 192. So Jesus bless you. See ya.